right, there's something that I would want to discuss, which I think is very critical, and that is emotion. All right. Now, how do you use your emotions in a positive way? One thing about emotion is how you use it, right, for good or for bad. One thing I would say to you is that when it comes to ghosting, all right, that means somebody is using their emotion, whether it's good or bad, negative or positive, because they are hurt, or because of misinformation, or maybe because they are not communicating well. Okay, so if you can use your emotions, whether you want a decision made or not. Now, how do you use your emotions positively for your own advantage? Okay, there are certain strategies that experts tell us how to go about it. For example, emotions like anger, frustrations, or pent up, something that you want done and it's not being done, all right? Or can be even be a relationship, workplace. Okay, so the workspace, how do you go about it to get the maximum of what you need done? Emotion can be a genuine response, okay, a genuine response to a phenomenon, okay, like to something that feels natural to you, all right, in response to that, right? It's something that feels natural to you, so that you respond in certain ways that will feel most natural to you, right? And so there are one moment. For example, you can have an innate sensitivity, all right? You might be a sensitive person, okay? Or you can overreact to something and then later on feel like, how come I did not have that calmness to solve that particular problem? Okay, how come innately I am on fire, right? How can I calm down in a situation without venting my anger on a situation like that? Or maybe somebody will caution you and say, why don't you have a thick skin at the workspace, right? So that you'll be able to work constructively, right? Maybe somebody will say you should have a thick skin, you are too sensitive. Or if you don't have a thick skin, or if maybe you stop overreacting, maybe the work might be done, right? And then the most devastating is that you start to agonize innately or inside, okay, on how to solve a particular problem. So what are the solutions? Okay, one solution is to chill out, all right? But to chill out based on these intense emotions that you feel, it's kind of like a cap out, right? You might chill out and then the next moment you are raging like a bull. You cannot restrain, or you cannot bottle down these intense emotions, and it will give you peace, or you can chill out, all right? So what do you do? Well, the thing is that these type of emotions are messages to you that for you to pay attention to something, right? So you cannot ignore those messages that gets into your brain and is trying to tell you to solve that particular problem, or take an action. Okay, I would say it's a source of intelligence, okay, for you to pay attention to an issue. Okay, they are very valuable. All right, how do you solve it? All right, so how do you solve these particular problems? Okay, communicate why it's important, and then set boundaries to it. Okay, if you don't communicate and you don't set boundaries, it will keep worrying you. All right, and then in case you are frustrated, okay, this is what you do. Simply put, be more flexible. Okay, if you are flexible, maybe with your time you'll be able to solve that particular problem on time. And then ask yourself, what are the possibilities that exist that I'm overlooking? All right, what is it? What are alternative options that I can take without butting my head like a ram to a wall or something? And then how am I going to be flexible? All right, and then stick to that. All right. Now, number one thing that I also detected was inadequacy. Okay, if you feel inadequate, well, ask yourself, what are the skill levels that you have, okay, that you can bring to the table, okay, and that nobody's going to tear you down because of your skill level. You always want to reach back to your past to see how you have solved a particular problem and that became successful, and dwell on it, okay? Don't say we didn't tell you. Then this skill level, how true is it? For example, you see that I told you about this, I'll show you, where there was this person, there's a carpenter that destroyed it. It's right now, it's useless here, right? And so we don't know, I don't know how to solve that particular problem, okay? Because his expertise level plus his understanding of what we wanted was, it coincided, or what was totally, I was talking apple, he was talking orange, and so we didn't come to a basic understanding of his skill level, my skill level, my understanding, and it became ghosting for about 6 weeks. All right, and then do you feel overwhelmed? Well, if you feel overwhelmed, then do you have I do 3 things at the same time. So I'm always bombarding people with my issues. So maybe that is one thing that frustrates them, and then they cap out, they go. And then I'll send emails, and when I WhatsApp you, I mean, I'll bombard you with so many information that it's kind of like it will confuse you. So that's my problem, and I feel very, very sorry, and I want to apologize to anybody that I have offended or frustrated based on my way of overwhelming other people with too much information. All right, this is something I really need to work on, man, so that I don't frustrate anybody. Right? So for me, I need to focus on what is the most important, okay? So that will give me the ultimate outcome. All right, instead of using people, I should be out there, feel confident to get the work done, and I shouldn't put too much on my plate in order to put it on other people and for them to be frustrated. We went to Adan, and one of my representatives or my friend had to do most of the connection of the event planning, and then I ended up maybe saying something. So I apologize. That was totally not cool. All right, so I vented my frustration. It's not really venting, but it was actually overwhelming him with too much. Okay, too much. So I need to control those urges to dump my problem on other people and try as much as possible to solve it myself, and me to not take too much on my plate to get overwhelmed about. Okay, all right. And loneliness, another thing about being an entrepreneur here is loneliness. I get really truly lonely, and so I will have to set my priorities right and connect with people, okay, to make sure that I connect to the right people, all right, and go out more often, and to be actually more friendly, okay, than I am right now, okay. And then ask her what kind of connection that I need to get the ball rolling. Anyway, talk to you soon, and thank you so much. All right, bye.